Signs of your collective awakening are arising all across the world as the old systems of authoritarian organization and control, to which you have been subject for millennia, continue to fall apart. People everywhere are starting to lay claim to their individual God-given divine sovereignty. And this, of course, causes them to seriously question the so-called systems of law and order. Obviously, you do need order in your lives. Order that honors and respects your individual holy natures and the holy natures of all others. But it need not and should not be authoritarian, as so many so-called democracies have become. God created each and every one of you from love as divine beings of love, utterly and completely free, although remaining in inseparable union with Him. Then, for an insane moment, you sought more freedom than the infinite freedom in which you were created, and you invented and constructed an unreal place or state in which to attempt to experience that hoped for increased freedom, freedom from union with your infinitely loving source. And, of course, it has not worked. You already had infinite freedom, limitless freedom, so any movement away from that state would and could only cause limitation. For the last 300 or 400 years, increasing numbers of you have been questioning the jurisdiction of authorities worldwide. That have been a major aspect of the various human cultures, governments, businesses, ancestral families, patriarchies, and religious organizations, and rebelling against them. Their sole aim is, and always has been, to control and dominate ordinary people. But there are no ordinary people. Every single person is a divine being, a beloved child of God, created as an eternal and individuated aspect of the One, of God. Your collective awakening is the awakening from that very real seeming dream or nightmare that you are presently experiencing as beings in human form. You have forgotten who you truly are because you chose to do so by entering that unreal state and engaging with it as fully as you could. But you can never enter fully into it, because deep within each of you is the knowing that you are much, much more than human beings in form. The amnesic state, that is such a major aspect of your apparently separated state, is dissolving as memories of your true nature begin to rise up into your conscious awareness. Because you are eternal divine beings, it is impossible for your true nature to remain hidden from you. You are a little like small children who are totally immersed in the apparent reality of a game. Then, on being offered some culinary delight, ice cream, chocolate, a sparkling drink, by their parent or caregiver, they immediately forsake the game for something delicious and real. And of course, you are all children, the beloved children of God, and she is calling you to awaken into the wonder of reality. God is calling you. The irrefutable evidence of this is being seen and reported on all across the world, and those of the old order are doing their best to conceal it or convince you through their control of the MSM and social media that it is untrue. However, many other sources are offering insights that are revealing the propaganda, the deceit, and the corruption in high places. And so the old order, and the illusory in reality which they have been presenting to you as the only valid truth, are being laid bare. Every one of you presently incarnate in human form, including those who would deceive you or attempt to prevent your awakening, is massively assisting in the collective awakening process. It will not be halted, stalled, or delayed because it is God's will and yours that you come home to the reality of being permanently consciously aware of your unbreakable union with her. God's will for you is eternal joy, and that is what you will experience. I cannot impress on you strongly enough the absolute and essential importance of your daily quiet time alone, resting in your holy inner sanctuaries, as you invite love, God to fill your hearts. As you spend time there and reset yet again your intent to be only loving whatever may arise during the day, allow yourselves to be aware of and to feel the presence of the divine within you. Then remind yourselves of your oneness with her. and of the total invalidity of even the slightest sense of unseemliness to which you may be clinging that suggests to you that you are in any way unworthy to be in her presence. You have never left her presence. There is nowhere else. The only and eternal reality is God, where you have your eternal existence in utter joy. With so very much love to you all, Soul, Galactic Council, veils of illusion falling, we are here now. We love you. We are you from your future to assist you on your path. Beloved one, at this time, you are able to choose your desired reality more deliberately than ever. The veils of illusion are falling fast as your heart is opening to your inherent divinity. Your divine inner being is made of divine love. The opposite of love is fear. Oftentimes, humans are hiding their true divine self of divine love by cloaking themselves in fear. What are these layers of fear based on? Fear is based on the illusion of the ego mind that you are mortal, which is incorrect. Loss of love is equated with a virgin of dying. Therefore, the fear of losing love is the driving force to protect yourself. Sometimes this is more obvious. Sometimes it is more subtle. Sometimes it is about love from others, love for yourself, and ultimately, the love of Source/God. Once you recognize that this fear is your ego mind and not real, you can begin to allow your true divine self to come out of hiding. You can choose to drop the layers of fear and protection. You can begin to think, feel, and act the way Source/God created you, in the image of God. Then, you are able to see through the layers of illusion, and when someone behaves unloving towards you, you will know that this is just an illusion. Instead, focus on your divine self and look for and find the divine self of the other. Now, your reality will begin to change and the illusion of fear and absence of love will disappear to make way for divine love. You are in charge of your experience and what you choose to think, feel, and do, no matter the circumstances. You are more powerful than you think you are. You are the creator of your reality. Try to do this for just one day, then for another day, and another. Before you know it, you will enter heaven on earth. Welcome home. We are holding the vision of the divine new earth with you, and from our vantage point, it is glorious. We are with you every step of the way. You are loved beyond measure. We are with you, always. We love you. We are you. Namaste. The Divine Feminine. With the return of the Divine Feminine, we are being returned to the ultimate power of love, which is transcendent. As the heart opens more and more, all that which ever happened, which we ever miscreated with other souls, in all forms and ways we ever closed our hearts even to ourselves, will surface as comprehension finally dawns like the mighty cosmic sun of illumination. That is truth, there is only love. The beautiful essence of the purity of the Divine Feminine, and all she epitomizes in pure unconditional love, is reflected in the pure white flame which is intricately holds and has always held within her. We are being reborn into innocence, that beautiful innocence, and the highest truth of our souls. As we were first created with the pure love and intent of the divine masculine and divine feminine to bring a unique, pure, beautiful soul into form and being, with a unique purpose and soul expression, so that this soul can shine its own beautiful essence, purity, love in co-creative ways within the greater monad, soul group as one, and then within the universal and omniversal existences, in whatever form or expression this may be. Our soul in its purest form is magnificent. We in truth have not even touched on the magnificence of the soul itself, for we were stuck so long in separation and in the mind itself. The soul itself carries the divine and divinity within itself, and is created to express that divinity within with great love. The soul was created to sing its own soul songs through the unique tonal chords which are inherent within it, and to be tuned in eternally into the songs of the heart of the mother, the birther of all. The mother sings through us all through the eternal songs of creation. It is never ending. And when we are fully tuned in, we can tune into all which has ever been created, in whatever forms and ways, visible and invisible, seen and unseen, and join in the songs of the seraphim and indeed the whole of creation as one. And with such love that the songs become the love songs of creation. When our hearts and souls are so filled with the divine love songs, how can we not exude the purest love which is all-embracing? How can we not open our heart and souls to other souls and allow them to simply be the purest expression of their own soul as created to be? How can we not give the freedom to simply themselves and allow them to explore all of creation in their own unique way? Knowing that in truth we are all one and that all our soul songs eternally are tuned into the same source of all life and life forms and all existence. Our soul always strives for balance and harmony within, even as that harmony is the eternal harmony and perfected beauty and magnificence of creation itself. The harmonies are ingrained within the soul itself and can never be depleted nor shut down, unless the soul itself for whatever reason chooses to buy into the discordant energy and express discordance. Remember that one discordant note brings a jarring reaction, and then the soul, once out of balance, tends to totter along until it rebalances itself by finding the eternal truth within through the eternal knowing of soul within. The divine feminine brings in the beautiful harmonies, the songs of songs, the songs of eternal, all-embracing love, and retunes us into the highest wisdom the Holy Sophia with the Shekinah holds, as part and particle of the divine feminine herself. They form the Holy Trinity. For indeed love is wise in purest sense. It knows the workings of the cosmos, the eternal truth, which is there within the core of all creation, as one with the source, the divine Father, the divine Mother as one, who form the Godhead equal source. When the soul is infused with divine love, the eternal wisdom of the soul expresses itself in the deepest knowing within. It fully embraces the all-seeing, all-hearing, and all-knowing within, for it is eternally tuned into the same source of all existence. Our souls are eternally tuned into the greater whole, for our soul traverses the greater cosmos. Not only are we eternally one with our monad, which embodies the mighty I Am presence itself, but we also are eternally one with all which has ever been created. The source of all knowing lies in the knowledge that when we are tuned in, we can access anything under the great central suns. For in truth, this is what the ascended masters and hosts do. There are no limitations. The divine feminine is indeed opening our hearts to remember our infinite truth, which is that as sons and daughters of the divine, our own divinity within our own souls opens us the greater knowledge and wisdom which is infinite available to us. It is when we allow our own minds to shut down the infinite tunes and infinite knowing of our own souls that we suffer. It is only when the heart is fully open and the divine host songs fully tuned in that we expand into the greater infinite's whole group and infinity itself. The mind is finite and cannot go so far unless the higher mind is fully tuned into the heart and soul. Then through the heart center and soul its higher transmitter channels open, and thus whatever is accessed can be transmitted through the higher mind. The soul and consciousness are forever linked. When the soul is conscious, it is also aware. It is awake. It slumbers no more in the seas of forgetfulness, but rises into the fullness of the truth of who and what the soul is. The more aware and conscious it becomes, the more it is tuned in. Yet consciousness is never stagnant. As one rises in awareness, the inner knowing rises, and thus one now starts to ascend through the 352 levels of creation again, and the different planes of consciousness. as thus attains the different degrees of soul mastery. Therefore there are galactic masters, universal masters like Lord Melchizedek, and then even omniversal masters. The higher they rise in consciousness, the more they take on the roles of higher guides to other souls. So there are octaves of consciousness, and what we now are busy accessing is the universal Christ consciousness, which in itself has multiple levels. One can never separate Christ consciousness from eternal and infinite love. For in truth, the more conscious you become, the more the heart opens and opens you to ever greater levels of divine love and expression thereof. Love in truth always strives for unity, harmony, and the eternal one. The divine feminine is returning us to the truth of love, infinite love, eternal love. And it is only in this context that we can access the greater universal whole, for herein lie the keys and codes of all existence.